7 years, and it's been pretty hardcore. I mean, in some ways, when I say the Hunger Games, I say it jokingly, but then even Mark Andreessen said it recently, like the Hunger Games exist in America. So in some extent, to a large extent, yeah, it has been very violent and like disruptive and volatile. I suppose like it's it's sort of this idea that this exists as a real thing, that people just like just like crypto 10 years ago, and then now like there's way more in sort of like the mainstream consciousness, and there's a forcing function of like different technologies being built. It's still obviously a struggle against the state because it's very political, but it's just way more accepted, and more people are working on it. It's a real thing. And so I think like for me, the past 7 years, like so many people like, they don't laugh at you directly, or, it's not like, but it's definitely like, in some ways it's quite insane to be working on, and then all in like kind of like, I'm like, it's not like I was doing this as a side project or something like this. I was really doing this primarily. I didn't have a job, or I didn't have like, VC funding this. I didn't get any. I didn't get any. I didn't raise. I didn't have a type of ICO for the network yet, out of fear, because America was so hostile against this whole thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so if in 10 years, in 10 years the world will look so different just because of AI and like neural interfaces. Yeah. So these days, like I just like think more in terms of like, okay, how can it, because I think generally when I got into this, it was just more like out of the like sort of like the curiosity of my heart, and it wasn't because, oh, I can make a lot of money of this, or this is like a great way to like change the world or whatever. It was just like having experienced different mental states through different avenues. It was just like, for me, revolutionary to think that dreams could become a new medium and become reality, just like how the waking state is reality. And it's like an enormous frontier in so many ways. And like, if that can become reality, and if there's more people working on this, and if you can make money with this, so people can actually risk their career to be working on this, just how the PC, personal computer revolution, and the internet, it was first a thought, and then, more people thought about it, and then there was some plan, and people implemented it and executed on it, and now it's like its own thing. So this is like, this will go like yeah, even like movies or games have still so much potential of being redefined and new possibilities. So dreams have not even started yet. So if just how like, like Elon is trying to like go to Mars and accelerate that and open the window and make it possible, and like that's why he lives for that, at least I would think largely, but at least like a fair amount. And so it's becoming its own reality that we're having a self-sustaining city on Mars, and I do think like something like this for dreams, in terms of like that you're able every day to like explore your dreams and nightmares, because that comes like in your fears and your anxieties, and it's like a normal thing. Just how people open the screen or their phone, people open themselves up to their own dreams.
I like it.
Yeah, and so like with neural interfaces and artificial intelligence, like it will be quite insane in a way, because we'll have Westworld type of worlds. Yeah, I guess thinking from 2034, I'd be curious to think about how did I do it, because right now it seems like so impossible. Because after working so many years on this, and so many failures and losses and like defeats, and I keep going, but like it feels like less likely every day that this will ever be anything. But I can't think like that, otherwise, like then I might as well, like I need to think more optimistic and more like, okay, we can do this, and I can find a way and execute, and I can deliver a way, and not to not like it needs to be my way. It's more like just more like, okay, how can I get this into reality, and then other people can join. I think where it's also becoming like a reality for myself, where like other people are there, and
Ultimately, it is about other people understanding what you're communicating and being able to hear and be inspired by the visions and dreams that you have, because they also share those dreams and visions in their own way. So,
yeah, but in the market, you need to also deliver some type of like tangible product, and then you communicate that way.
That product
And
comes in once people, the right people are gathered, that believe in the same idea, right? That see the same vision that you have. And the product is going to be established once we know what we need to establish basically for ourselves, so we can use that product ourselves. Ultimately, that's the first step, I think.
yeah, part of it is also like sort of having arrived from the mountain, so to speak, back into reality, and just like focusing on something that's like simple, feasible. Sometimes like the vision, like I guess generally speaking, a vision is great, but like the vision enough is like it's not enough, just to have a vision, or like it's just how it's not enough to have an idea. Like it's this notion of like, it gets you started, it gives you direction, but then ultimately you need to like experiment and figure out, okay, like how can this be installed into reality, into something that I can use, that other people can use. And I think because it's like, that's difficult, even if you're doing like, let's say, a generative AI project, or like, some AI agent project, that's even difficult then, like even you need to do it then. You basically pick an idea within an established trend, and then you need to like basically figure this out, right? So with something like this, it may be even harder, but it, again, the market judges you by the results that you can deliver, and not like the idea or the vision or your thoughts. And yeah, I mean, part of crypto is also like, it's a lot of like, what's the actual outcome? How are people using this every single day? Like normal people, like it's a lot of like, obviously big ideas, and very like theoretical things, but like what's actually like, like someone created a chair once, kind of amazing, and we're still using it, and then people like, and so obviously that this is like very advanced stuff. So it can't just be like perpetually like this thing like in crypto, where it's just like getting people, and then the building this community, and then there's no product around it. Like I think it's fine like for the people within crypto, but if you actually care about like the rest of the world, which is the vast majority, like you need to be more like Elon, building more useful things, like products, something tangible, experiment, and it's like, I guess with something like this, because it's so internal, it's not, and then you don't have like this like whole culture, or but anyway, it is what it is. I can endlessly say about where we are at the moment, and how like other industries have more support or more resource or more people, more money, but that doesn't matter. Like, the reality is, it is a scientific thing. It's not insane. It's not insane. I'm not insane. And like, this is feasible, and this is important, because even though people think dreams is this wish fulfilling machine, it's essentially something that can also help you to heal yourself, to have more mental mobility, which, given the mental health crisis, is a very valid thing to be working on, that we need a new paradigm for something like that. And like within that, it must be possible. And like, we can leverage AI, we can leverage crypto, and all these different things, but it's its own thing. Like, this is not AI, this is not crypto, it's a mind, and it's a new frontier. And so that's what it is. Now, it's much easier to get things done when there's more people and more resources, but also like sometimes like having too much money then doesn't force you to be resourceful and then creative. Creativity sometimes is about having constraints. And whatever, the story is what it is, and they're like, the past is what it is. So
let's wrap it up for now. Let's see the progress of within the next 6 months in our next interview recording. Link, I'm supporting you fully. This is something that is, to me, a new interface. I'm dreaming of a new interface in terms of a way to connect. I'm the believer that we're able to connect telepathically. We just don't know how to use this technology, inner technology yet. And I believe what you're building will be one of the ways for us to coordinate offline as well, or off record, let's say. So I'm really excited about what you're building, and let's keep the momentum going. Let's keep connecting. Thank you for showing up at this.
Yeah. All right.
public
Yeah.
space.
Any last question or?
This is it.